Did you know that nobody has priority on the roads in New Zealand? Cars, pedestrians, cyclists. Hope you don't mind sharing. My name is Jimmy and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about driving the roads of New Zealand. This is based off my experience from a road trip in the South Island, and you can check out my 10-day itinerary right above me there if you do want some inspiration on your next trip to New Zealand. You're going to be driving on many types of roads and past some amazing looking scenery, so I've put together 5 tips for when you go driving in New Zealand. Tip number 1, and this one is simple. Well, I guess it's simple if you drive on that side of the road in the first place from your home country, but it is drive on the left-hand side in New Zealand. If you get that right, you could pretty much bluff the rest of the road laws over there. But when you leave some tourist spots or car parks, for example, there will be arrows on the road just to remind you which side of the road you need to drive on. Tip number 2, and this is speed. We're going to be driving in kilometers per hour. By default, if you are driving through a urban area or an upbuilt residential area, then it's going to be 50 kilometers per hour. Outside of those urban areas, it's by default 100 kilometers an hour. Highways, motorways, 110. But of course, always follow the speed limit signs, and there's 3 main signs that you're probably going to see on the roads in New Zealand. Your first one is your mandatory signs. These are circular with a white background and a red outer ring and a number smack bang in the middle. This is the maximum speed you are allowed to go. Your second sign is your advisory speed sign. This is going to be a square, rectangular, those kind of shapes, and it's going to have a yellow background with a black number and black arrows on them. These are there if you are approaching a tight curve or a tight bend in the road, and are advising you the best speed to accomplish these turns, as well as letting you know the direction of the turn itself. And you actually may want to follow these directions, because if you are doing 100 kilometers an hour and then all of a sudden you see a yellow sign that says 35 kilometers per hour, yeah, you may want to slow down for that. And the third sign is also a circular shape with a white background, black outer ring and a black diagonal line going straight through the center. And people from the UK probably do recognize this, but in New Zealand it means open road. Open road basically means that you can speed back up to 100 kilometers an hour. This could have been because you were driving through an urban area or just a lower speed area in general. And an extra tip for speed, if anyone is driving a larger vehicle such as a camper van, and this goes for anyone that will be driving vehicles that are 3,500 kilograms or over, then you will be capped at 90 kilometers an hour on 100 kilometer per hour roads. If you do want more information about this, then click the link below. You will find everything you need to know so you're not going to break the law. Tip number 4 is overtaking. Now, sometimes we do come across slow traffic. That could be tractors, lorries, just slow drivers in general. But overtaking is allowed, but just be cautious because New Zealand's roads are notorious for being windy and narrow. When you are overtaking, just make sure that there is at least 100 meters of clear road in front of you. This is including before the maneuver, including the maneuver, and when you are safely back on your side of the road. And of course, don't overtake on a bend or if you are driving up an incline where you can't see over the horizon, and don't overtake when there's a car approaching you on the other side of the road, because that's just stupid. It's not intelligent at all. However, there are lines on the road that indicate when you can and when you can't overtake on the roads in New Zealand. The first set of lines is a double yellow line down the center of the road. This means that no car either side is allowed to overtake or technically go across those double yellow lines. Yes, you are allowed to overtake, let's say a cyclist, which you only need to do about 1.5 meter gap in between you and the cyclist itself. Providing you don't cross those double yellow lines, you're all good to go. The second set of lines is a broken white line next to a solid yellow line going down the center of the road. If the broken white lines are on your side of the road, you are allowed to overtake, providing it is safe to do so. If the solid yellow line is on your side of the road, no overtaking at all, or again, unless you're overtaking a cyclist and you're not going to go over that solid yellow line. And the last set of lines, well, one line anyway, is a single broken white line going down the center of the road. This means either side of the road is allowed to overtake, again, providing it is safe to do so. If you find yourself driving too slow or holding traffic behind you, this could be because your eyes are on the scenery, for example, then pull over at a safe place. This could be a lay-by completely off the road or an off-road car park itself. Don't be that person that holds up traffic. It's just annoying. Tip number 4, this could be an obvious one to some people, but in some countries there's not many of these signs, and this one is the stop sign. You may see this sign when you are about to join a main road from a side road. This is an octangular shaped sign with a red background, might have white outlining, and in big capital letters with the word stop. Now this sign is mandatory even if the road in front of you is clear. If you come up to one and the road is clear, then come up to a complete stop. Count to 3 before moving on, just to be sure that you are within the law. And lastly, tip number 5, this one's about parking. Now this piece of advice is if you want to park on the side of the road. Did you notice how the cars were parked in that video clip? When parking on the side of the road, you always need to face the flow of traffic. Parking the wrong way can either get you a parking fine or your car being towed away, and trust me, nobody wants that wherever you are in the world. So there's your 5 tips for driving in New Zealand, and just remember you could be driving a long way between one place to the next. Just remember to get lots of rest or let someone else take the wheel if you're getting tired, and also remember that your petrol tank is full. Also remember that New Zealand is one of the most picturesque places on earth. But always keep your eyes on the road, it can be distracting. If something does catch your eye, make sure you pull completely off the road in a safe place so that you can admire the beauty of those landscapes and the views that New Zealand has to offer. And most scenic locations in New Zealand have off-road parking such as a lay-by or a car park itself, so you can actually enjoy the views at a safe place. So if you have driven the roads in New Zealand, write a comment down below. If I've missed anything, well, there's a lot of things I've missed, but anything that's important that should have made the top 5. But if you do have a driving holiday booked in New Zealand, I hope this video inspires you for your next trip to New Zealand. Don't forget to like this video if it's been helpful to you. Click that subscribe button because I'm going to be making more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.